That's tough to watch. It's tough to see on a daily basis with this team. And I feel that now the manager has taken on part of that dejection, is what I would say, based on how he sounded last night. Do we have? Oh, we don't. It's not ready. Okay. This studio.
It's not Tuesday, so that's a good thing today.
That's a win.
Yeah, Wednesday's Wednesday. It's like hump day, right in the middle. Got the golf tournament on Monday. We'll be outside doing nothing.
The manager last night after the game, a day after saying he thought the team was close to turning a corner, completely did a 180 and changed his tune from where he was a day before and had this after the game. Hit it.
Alex.
All right, never mind. The guy was completely out on his team last night.
These close losses, eating at you and, frustrating you?
I mean, we keep making the same mistakes. We're not getting better. At one point, it has to be on me, I guess, right? I'm the manager, so, I got to keep pushing them to be better. They're not getting better. They're not, We keep making them the same mistakes. And I'll be very honest about it, very open about it, you get frustrated, but at one point it's like, okay, what are we going to do? What's going to change, because we keep doing the same thing. We can keep talking about one-run losses. They're 17, 18, whatever it is, and it's the same thing. So, I mean, is it effort, preparation, like Duke said, attention to detail, I have no idea now. I watched that game. I was like, wow, this is real, I mean, it's frustrating.
How much you've been banging your head against the wall about the defense for years? Like, that really irritates you more than anything. What have you seen just defensively all year?
What you saw today, routine ground balls for those plays we don't turn. We throw to the wrong bases. We make cutoff guys. PFPs were horrible. So there's a lot of bad right now.
Ooh.
I have a question.
Ooh. Alex Cora, a day after, thinking and saying, yeah, I think we're about to turn a corner. Now he's just completely out. He's out on this roster. He's blaming the guys that are here, says they're not getting better. He is throwing his hands up saying, I guess I'm to blame. I'm the manager. Right. I mean, he's now saying things that are a borderline, just please fire me.
Yeah, I think he's getting there. And I think he's at break point. Now, you've lost, 17 one-run games of your 34 losses? The easiest thing to do is to point it at that guy, the manager. That's the easiest thing to do. Do they just have dumb, stupid players? Because at some point, it's got to fall on you, the professional baseball player. Are you going to play together as a team? Can you do something that's routine? Hit and cut off people? Know when to run and when to not? When to steal? I mean, you can get on him for lineups and stuff, but at some point, if you're not bringing up Roman Anthony because you want to save money 5 years from now, then that's on you, the owner. That's on you, the chief operator, whatever the hell his title is, Breslow. Because it's easy to blame this guy.
Could Alex Cora have managed his team to 3 or 4 more wins?
Probably.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes. Could he manage his team to being 500? Let's say it's, 5 more wins. Could he manage this team to being a 500 club right now?
Yeah.
Okay. They're not. They're not even that. They had a 500 team a year ago. They added to it. Their roster right now is better than the teams they've had in years past that were 500 teams. So what's wrong? What's your issue? He's trying to blame the roster. He wants no blame for this. Now I just don't think he cares. I mean, we've been saying he doesn't care. That's a guy who doesn't care. He ain't give a damn anymore.
Remember when he didn't make a move at the deadline? He's sitting there saying, like, yeah, we know we need help. We need a bat. We need a right-handed bat. We need a pitcher. And they didn't give him anything. And then he just sounded dejected the final, 3-4 weeks of the season.
Is this roster better than 29 and 34?
Yeah.
If you're in half of your losses have been by 1 run, you're going to blame the talent? You were in half your games, you only lost by a run. You're right there. And if your issue is with attitude and attention to detail and focus and hard work, I know that maybe sometimes you get dealt a hand and you get dealt players that are not into those things, but you've got to get them there. You're their boss.
Wally Blackman.
You're the guy that they report to every single day.
Yeah.
You do. And if you can't develop young players and make them into quality, hardworking major leaguers, then you're not the right guy for the job. And I know that they're not as young as we like to think they are as a team. But they've got inexperience on this roster, and if that's his problem is with, I guess, some of the younger players, maybe.
They got problems with veterans.
But they talked about it
Adding
before
that.
the game. Cora mentions Duke in that comment. Before the game, they asked, like, what's the issue here? Is it attention to detail? Like, what's the problem? He goes, we're here at 1 p.m. every day doing grounders and doing all that. Eventually, it just comes down to execution.
Or are you going through the motions? So it's a question.
Because it's
one thing to
You've
put in
already
time.
fired Carl Feblis. You fired Andy Fox. Like, clearly you have fired multiple infield instructors and blamed them, trying to say they are not the guys that are able to get you there. We're here once again with Flores in 2025. Nothing's changed. It looks exactly the same. You'd found balance for a couple weeks. Those 3 weeks right there. Should have been 4 errors last night on the Neto play where Abraham Toro's not paying attention, who's at the plate, not ready to come in on that ball and throw him out. Instead, he gets beat out on a regular infield routine ground ball to him.
I have a research project for Milliken. How does the Red Sox line up in terms of change of position in lineup, in terms of where they are in the batting order, and where guys are in the field? How does that rate compared to other teams in baseball? Because there is no consistency in who they put out, where they put them out on a night-to-night basis. And so defensively, I look at it and say, well, it's not like you're going to build any chemistry as a team out there. It's a different freaking lineup every other day.
Stories take grounders at first.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Crazy.
Like, guys have played all over the field again. And maybe that's part of it. But
I think part of it's attitude, too. And I hate bringing this up again, but the second he went away to that graduation thing, you're telling the team, there's other things more important.
Because
than baseball.
that's the philosophy of the team. It's one of
they take it on,
162.
too. It's the
That's
same.
why you lose so many one-run games, because there isn't a sense of urgency, and it's one of 162. So you know what? Not a big deal. We'll be at the ballpark tomorrow. We'll be better tomorrow.
Checks will clear.
I thought of Kyrie Irving last night. I did. Because I go back to 2019 when he said, Dad, don't worry about the regular season. We'll flip the switch when the postseason comes. And that's what I think the Red Sox did with this season as a whole, right? There was not an emphasis on winning over the last few years. And let's make a couple big moves in the offseason. And now we'll flip the switch and we'll be ready to play big-time baseball. And the reality is a lot of these younger guys and these veterans on the roster have not been playing competitive baseball and been in situations where they need to execute in moments, and you see it time and time again in these close games. They can't execute when it matters most because they haven't had the opportunity to, and it has been part of the philosophy, and Alex Cora is now a part of that too.
And the thing that sucks for him is, like, he's not the leader. He's the manager.
No, but he's
You have no
fallen in
leadership.
line with the philosophy of this team.
Well,
How
and
do
he
you
backs up
respond?
the third base, and it doesn't want to play third base.
how do you respond if you hear your manager say the things he said after the game last night?
Oh,
You're
we're
like,
dead in the
that's
water.
it. We're dead.
We're
It's
dead in the
over.
water.
Let's check out.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go through the motions.
Yeah, I also think that's a manager going like this. Just pressing every single button he can because he has no idea what to do right now, so he's just going to go with whatever. And
He did
hopefully
this-
something
You're
sticks.
right. A week ago in these games, he said, "You know what? That was a good game.
Exactly.
What do you want me to do? That was a good game. Like, that was a good baseball game."
I don't think he has any answers in terms of how to turn this thing around right
He's
now.
all over the map.
Yeah.
He's all over the map. Hear him a day before. His comments one day before what he said last night are wildly different from where he was 24 hours later. What happened in 24 hours for him to dramatically change his opinion about the team? Nothing. Nothing was different. Nothing changed. The only things that may have changed are he's hitting his breaking point of really not wanting to be here anymore.
Well, he's got 7 years of managing the Red Sox, right? 7 years. 5 of them you didn't make the playoffs. That's a big number. And look at that. Look at those errors over there. 53. 53. They lead the. Is that American League or is that just baseball?
That's MLB.
That's
It's
MLB.
Major League
So
Baseball.
is it
the
his
Rockies,
fault?
The Rockies are
Yeah,
a
right.
historically bad team. They got their 10th win of the
Errors are his
season
fault?
2 nights ago.
But
They
errors
won
are-
their first series.
That 10th win of the year was a couple nights ago, and we're into June. Let's hear Alex Cora from 2 nights ago.
Yeah, it's been like that the whole season. We played well in Kansas City, and then the first game in Detroit was a tough one. Going into Tampa, the first one was a tough one. We just we're not that far off. I totally believe that, but we have to, make sure we start off series the right way. I think that's how you do it, right?
We're not that far off. We're on the right track. We're not
doing
that
good,
far
guys.
off.
We're all right. Are 53 errors his fault? Though?
And then
like, that's
partially,
what's
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, I think you
Yes,
have to
they
look at
are.
him. Yeah.
putting the players in those
Without
positions.
a doubt.
The lineup changes. The infield.
We're almost there. We're nowhere. We stink. We can't do anything. We don't execute. Nobody's capable of doing anything. I guess you can blame me. I'm the manager. You saw it. Wow, it's bad. That's what he's saying a day later.
Feels like it was 4 years ago that they were pumping Campbell's tires.
And if I'm a player, I'm like, well, which one should I believe? Are we almost there, or do we suck?
And you saw it with Sedon Rafaela after the game, pushing the message from the day before after the manager communicated something completely different.
Right.
And you just tell they're not all looking at things the same way.
Right. It's like, are we doing the right thing, or is our process good? Are we about to have a breakthrough and put this behind us? Yeah. And then the manager's like, nope, F it. Yeah. You guys suck.
Brian Bayo throwing 6 innings and acting like he carried the world on his back. First time
David
he's
Wells.
Was he having fun? Was he having fun in the dugout? 3-1? Was he having fun?
He's a loser. He's a losing
This could
player.
be one of the worst signings in Boston sports. Him.
His level of competitiveness, I'm sorry, is like just wired wrong. Can we put it that way?
Yeah.
Okay, he's competitive. He has meltdowns. We saw that in the Netflix doc, by the way. Him, part of the clips there that you've probably seen, even if you haven't watched it, is him slamming his glove into the ground and, flipping out on himself. He only cares about how he's doing. Not a team guy. Like, not into wins and losses for the team. He is strictly about, did I show up and did I get through however many innings he wants to put that at? Yeah, no, go ahead, celebrate. Yeah, he's celebrating like he just won the World Series on a night that his team, I think, is about to officially be declared dead. I mean, you hear it in Dave O'Brien's voice in the final call. Listen to him. That's the team guy, the team broadcaster.
Yeah, I've done it for 2 years.
He has seen enough of this.
I've done 12 years of football, and these last 2 years, when you win 4 games and you got nothing to play for, and you just go through the motions of traveling and getting on planes and going on buses, getting through the game, get your ass kicked again, it wears on you.
And the Red Sox once again lose by 1 run. That is 17 times.
The Angels jumped you yesterday in the standings. The only teams below you are the Orioles, A's, and White Sox right now in the American League.
And you get to see Daddy this weekend, right?
Going to face him twice in the upcoming 10 games.
Oh, that's when it'll be over.
No, it's over now.
No, I know, but that's like
what's over. What do you think?
I think it becomes a tune-out after the 2 series against the Yankees.
Well, you wonder why the rivalry doesn't have any juice anymore. It's because the season's over by the first time you see them.
They took nothing seriously in the first 2 months of the year. Nothing.
They got a bunch of jackasses.
They had no urgency. They were off going to graduation parties. Yeah. That's what they were doing.
That sets the tone for the
had
room.
urgency on opening day. That was it.
Yep.
He managed that thing like the World Series Game 7, and then that was it.
He's checked out. You can't tell me the guy we saw last night speaking after the game is going to be giving his best effort as a manager going forward. I don't believe that. I don't believe it for 1 second. Because even when he's ripping his team, he's putting you to sleep. How often do you see a manager rip his team and it looks like that? I mean, that was so half-hearted that you have a hard time even believing him.
Rod Mayo never.
He's like, let me look at the script and say the things that I guess I'm supposed to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm to blame. Yeah, they stink. They can't execute. He couldn't even rip his team with passion and urgency. Couldn't even do that.
It's like when your girlfriend's yelling at you and you just don't want to hear it anymore.
Oh.
And you're like, yep, I'm the bad guy. I'm sorry. It's all on me.
Yeah.
Even the night before with the Jaron Duran check swing, that felt like a moment where you get ejected. You go out there, you kind of make a statement, you keep your player in the game. That wasn't there in that moment.
Man, he's quickly become a clown manager. They got to move on. And I don't know that they will. At least, today. But
Remember a year ago we were scared of him going to the Yankees?
Yeah.
I think you'd fear that because the Yankees are good, could be good with Alex Cora. And
Phillies, too.
You just kind of hate that.
But I think a lot of people feel he's like a top 10, top 5 manager.
No,
the way
he
people
isn't.
talk about him.
No, he isn't. No, his track record's not good enough. I'm sorry.
And you can't just double down on your mistake. You can't just keep him because you signed him to the extension at this point.
See
It's
you
not
later.
working.
See you later. What's the money? $7 million a year? That's peanuts. It doesn't count against any CBTs. You don't have to worry about that. $7 million for this team is nothing. He'll have offsets. He'll get another job somewhere else. They won't even be on the hook for it.
It's a boat cleaning job.
See you
my
later,
God.
dude. See you later. You don't want to be here. We don't want you here.
Be like Thibodeau. Thibodeau, my ass. Give me $30 million. I'm gone, dude.
Get
Fully
him out of
guaranteed.
here, Red Sox. Wake up. Do something, would you? Do something that indicates you give a damn still. Get him out of here.